Greetings, I'm Professor K, and in this short video presentation, we're going to see how we can go about easily completing Lab 14.4, create a home office network for TestOut PC Pro. As always, the first thing we want to do is go ahead and start and then stop the lab, and then we're going to print out our last score report. So let's go ahead and launch that. Now down here at the bottom, where we have explanation, this is going to walk us through how to complete the lab step by step. So let's go ahead and print that out. I'm going to go ahead and print it out as a PDF. And then I'm just going to open it up just as soon as I have saved it. So I'll go ahead and save it to my desktop. And so here's the score report. And I'm just going to scroll on down here until I get to the explanation. And let's start the lab. I now have the lab up. Step number 1, on the shelf, expand networking devices. Drag the router from the shelf to the workspace area, okay. And there's our router. Above the router, select back to switch to the back view of the router. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to use the scroll mouse on my wheel to enlarge this a little bit. We're next required to expand the cables and bring over the power adapter. We're going to connect the power adapter to the router, and then we're going to plug it in and find the power strip, and I'm going to go over here and just plug that in like so. All right, can't connect it to that, so let's go ahead and connect it to the AC outlet on the wall. There we go. All right, we now have the router connected. Scroll on back over. We next need to add in this Ethernet cable so that we can connect the router to the WAN port on the wall and to the back of our router. So one end of this RJ45 or this Ethernet cable needs to be plugged into the back of the router. Let's go ahead and do that. And that would be the WAN port. So you have this one port that's over to the right just a little bit by itself. That would indicate the WAN port. These other ports here are going to be for your LAN. And then we have to plug the other end of that Cat5 cable into the outlet on the wall. And so that's going to be the WAN connection or the DMARC from our ISP. Step number 2, connect the desktop computer to the router as follows. Above the PC1 computer case, select back to switch to the back view of PC1. Let's go ahead and do that first. So I'm guessing this is PC1. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the back of it. From the shelf, let's select another Cat5 cable. And we're going to connect this right here. That's our Ethernet port on the back of our PC. And we're going to connect the other end over here to this LAN port on the router. And we are to do the same thing for PC2. Let's go to the back of PC2. Let's get another Ethernet cable. Okay, we got that. Let's go ahead and plug this into the Ethernet port on the back of our PC2. Scroll on back over to our router. And we're going to put that into the next available LAN port right there. So we got our router plugged in, powered up, and we've got our 2 computers connected to the back of the router. So we're next going to fire up PC1 over here. And step number 3, configure TCP/IP on the desktop computers as follows. On the PC1 monitor, select click to view the Windows 10. Okay. And there's Windows 10. In the navigation pane, right-click on the network icon and select Open Network and Internet Settings. This is our network icon down here. I will right-click, Open Network and Internet Settings. From the left menu, select Ethernet. Under Related Settings, select Change Adapter Options. Right-click on the Ethernet adapter. Let's go to Properties. Find the item marked Internet Protocol version 4, TCP/IP version 4, and that's right here. Go ahead and double click that. Currently, this machine is statically configured. we're going to go ahead and configure it for DHCP by selecting the radio button, obtain an IP address automatically, and we're going to go down here for DNS, and we're going to select the radio button, obtain DNS server address automatically. Say OK to that. Say OK or close for the property window. Let's close out our extra windows here. And let's go down to our navigation bar and let's find our internet connection, and we do have internet access. Let's return to our computer desk, and we're going to do the same thing for PC2. So I'm over here on PC2. Let's go ahead and launch. Down here at the navigation bar, let's find our network settings. Right click, open network and internet settings. From the left window pane, select Ethernet. Let's change adapter options. Let's find our Ethernet adapter, right click, let's go to properties. Let's find that TCP IP version 4, double click. Let's once again select this machine to use DHCP, obtain an IP address automatically. Let's check that radio button to do the same thing for DNS. Click OK and close. Let's close out our windows. Scroll back down our navigation bar, and if we check the network settings, we do have internet access. And let's return to our computer desk. Step number 4, connect the wireless access point to the router as follows. On the shelf, expand wireless access points. Let's slide on back over here to the left, and let's just drag this on over to our workspace. And there we go. Let's look at the back of our wireless access point. Let's go to cables. Let's find our power adapter. Let's just go ahead and drag that on over. And there's our power adapter. Let's go ahead and hook that up. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in to the power jack on my access point here. I'm then going to take this other part and I'm going to plug that into the power strip. And we're good to go. Let's go ahead and slide on back over, and let's bring over our Ethernet cable. I now have an Ethernet cable to hook up from the access point to the router. Let's hook up one end of this Ethernet cable to the WAN port on my wireless access point. That's done. Now let's take the other end of that cable, and with the remaining jack that we have over here on my router, we're going to plug it in like so. Our next step is to configure the wireless access point. And to do this, we're going to click on Windows 10, our machine right here. We're going to bring up a desktop, scroll on down. We're going to launch Chrome. And to get to the management console of our wireless access point, we're going to type in the IP address that is assigned to that access point, which is 192.168.0.100. Go ahead and hit enter. We're now going to type in the administrator's name and password. From the factory, it would be admin, and the password is password. Go ahead and click OK. Over here on the left, let's click on the tab marked wireless. Let's click on basic. We're now going to change the SSID, and we're going to call this home wireless. Let's scroll on down, and we're going to click on apply. Again, it wants the username and password for the administrator. Type in admin and password. Click OK. Let's scroll on back up, and let's click on security. Let's click on security mode, and from the context menu, we're going to select WPA2-PSK. And underneath WPA, let's make sure that that radio button for AES is selected, and the passphrase. Let's change our passphrase to @ small letter H, capital letters HOME, small letter W, capital letters IRELESS, exclamation point. Once you have confirmed everything is where it needs to be, go ahead and click apply. Let's click back to our desktop. Let's select the laptop. It says on the front of the laptop, click the wireless switch to enable wireless. That must be it right here. Let's go ahead and click that. And you see the green light comes on, letting us know that wireless is now enabled. On the laptop monitor, select click to view the Windows 10. Scroll on down. Let's find the network icon, and that's right here. We're going to click on this, and we're going to select Home Wireless. Double click it and say connect. Now we have to enter that passphrase that we configured up inside of the access point. That's going to be at small letter H, hold down the shift key, capital letter O-M-E, small letter W, capital letters I-R-E, less, exclamation point. And let's go ahead and click next. Go ahead and select yes. And we are now connected to our secured access point. Let's go back to our computer desk. We have one device left to configure, and that is the iPad. Go ahead and click on the screen. Let's find the icon for settings. From the left window pane, let's find the settings for Wi-Fi. Let's find our home wireless network. Here we have it right here. Let's go ahead and double click that. And now we're going to type in that password one more time. And we're going to click on the join button. And we are done. Let's go ahead and see what's going on over here. We have our IP address, subnet mask, looks good. DNS is being picked up. I think we're good. Let's go back to our computer desk. And I think we can score this lab. We have a green check mark all the way through, and that indicates to us that this lab is a go. And so that's going to conclude this short video presentation on how we go about completing lab 14.4, create a home office network for TestOut PC Pro. I'm Professor K. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.